Hey guys, welcome back to Greg's Fishroom. Today we are in the great outdoors and we are going to do some wild fish collecting. Now this is something that I probably should have done a long time ago, but my local fish club decided to host a wild collecting trip here in Massachusetts, and we are at this lovely pond which we'll be exploring today. There's a lot to talk about today, there's a lot to see, so come along with me and learn how to be a better aquarist. Alright guys, here's the first look at the pond. It is pretty choked out by weeds, so it's going to be difficult to do traditional cast fishing, but we've got some traps, we've got plenty of nets, and I got my waders with me, so I'm going to get in the water and see what we can see. This is the South Coast Tropical Fish Society, and we're set up here by the pond. There's a dam attached to this pond as well, and we're going to see what kind of native fish species we can collect and identify today. Now, it's important to know your local laws and regulations, and so in Massachusetts basically all native species are protected. Now the exception to that is if you have a freshwater fishing license, you can collect a certain set of bait species for personal use, for essentially for bait fishing. And so one fish that's on that list is the target species that I'm after today, and that is the banded killifish. They stay pretty small. It's a top minnow type fish, so we should be able to collect them in the top few inches of the water, and they have been confirmed to populate this area, so we're gonna see how we can do. But let's get going, let's get set up here and check things out and see what's going on.
Well, there's something swimming around in there. I don't know what it is.
Water pick all up there. The way that things are going. Triple weed, stuff, you know.
Moving, so he put all his fish in tubs, and while he was out moving other stuff, a great blue heron came along.
He's very interested in what's going on. I just noticed him so fast. His head
Oh.
What? Why would they ever need to be spiky? I don't know.
Going in there before. I thought you were going to go over. You mind if I steal a pellet?
Go for it. Yeah, there's a whole table full of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. I caught a crayfish.
Ooh, alright.
Nothing else so far. Right over here. I had a little sunfish earlier. Some tadpoles.
Are you the one that put them in the tank?
Yeah. I think Mike got the big tadpole. I got two small ones.
Yeah, I seen those. Actually, I'm going to get my water bubbles. I forgot about those.
And it certainly is a beautiful spot, but if you see all those little leaves down there in clusters, like about a quarter size to $1/2 size, that's all water chestnut, and those black spiky seed pods are just all up and down this bank. They float in the water, they stick to your net, and they've just completely choked out 90% of this pond. So I'm gonna try some areas that have a little bit less of this stuff, because it's a real pain to try to pick through. But that's why invasives are bad, folks. Shouldn't be here, but it is.
And then they'd add some more, and then pretty soon everybody had it. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And you never saw the eels. So I turned the lights off in the room, and I just left the hall light on. And I was just sitting there in front of the tank, and it was kind of dark, and my eyes got used to it. And as soon as it darkened up, and then I could see, the eels were coming out of the ground out of the gravel, and they were leaving their tails in. They had about 1.5 inches of their tail in the gravel, and they were just like this. They looked like a sea of grass, just waving back and forth.
Waiting for the food to
and then
by.
the sunfish would just casually swim over, and when one got over top of one, they'd just take off like a bullet, bite right into the side and drill. They just spin around and come right away with a little chunk of food. I couldn't believe that. Like, son of a bitch.
But saltwater fish are like bluefish. They take a bite out of a pokey and that's it.
Yeah.
Take one bite. They don't eat the whole thing. They take a bite
They
out.
just took one little bite, went back in the ground. When they got done eating, they come back up and they're looking like grass. So needless to say, I had to move those. They actually didn't kill anybody because I caught it fast enough that I was able to treat it. But I couldn't believe it. I'm like, shit. I thought it was pretty cool when I saw them move. That's really neat. And then they like turned into an army of attack
It's
missiles.
just like saltwater eels that do the same thing. I thought.
Well, that's the reason they're in here, is because this is, you know, it has access to the marine eventually. When they get big enough,
Andrew.
they'll go out
Here's your
in the
horn
ocean and spawn. Or no, they don't spawn. They go out there and grow, and then they come back here. That's amazing. They can find it. I think they may be the only one. So if there's no scales in that area, you know, of course these ones are so
These
small.
ones are the golden shiners here.
Yeah.
Old school.
When they're this size, it's almost like you have to have had experience to see them.
Yeah.
But their that shape is perfect, like an elongated diamond shape.
And this little catfish here?
I think it's brown bullhead. Can you see the barbells on it?
Yeah.
If the lower barbells are black or brown, it's probably.
It's hard to tell in this water,
Yeah,
but
it is hard to tell.
I've got some fresh water here if we want to try
Picked it
to
up. I thought they were dark, so
catch a few things and put it in here
Oh,
so
yeah,
we can
that'll be good.
see it a bit better.
yeah, you can get good pictures that way too. If you want to take pictures. The Tesla darter was a nice looking darter.
Yeah.
Tesla.
Try to catch a couple of these shiners. Help me out.
There you go.
Is that more or less hornwort?
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can see his barbells. They're blackish, brownish on the bottom. That's usually brown bullhead. And you see its tail too is it's kind of square but rounded off in the corners. I'll send you guys a couple ID PDFs. One of the guys that's a member in NAMFA, he's also a what do you call him? Micro fisher. Tim, you know Tim? He's from North Carolina. He's made a couple ID video, or not video, ID PDFs that are really good.
Okay.
He's got one for just catfish. He's got one for just shiners.
You want to catch that little
He has pictures,
catfish?
examples, and
Nice.
in the description of how you can tell this one from that one.
Oh wow.
Which is really handy.
So the shiner, I couldn't.
I think he's right here.
What you're
Yeah.
talking about? Where is it?
So he's got there's an anal fin here, right? It's pretty, and it's a long anal fin. Usually.
Yes.
Way up top, right here, in the middle water.
A lot of fish.
I remember my finger is.
Other ones have very short.
I can't even see that far.
Pretty.
Just right in the middle center. There you go.
Okay.
Crayfish wants to come along. You're good. They don't need the oxygen, they're okay.
Oh, he's cool. Oh, there's things are small, little things right here with hair. Yeah. On the side. Oh, that was cool. And then there's ones up on top. Black. On the sides, there's a
Is the one on the bottom over here the one with the anglers?
one side. There's one
Yeah, it's on the
between
bottom,
here
yeah.
and there.
Ooh, I don't know.
There's like this is where it's deepest. Where
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
deepest between that point and
The dogger?
the fin. That's what they're coming back.
Yes. What is that?
That's a tessellated darter.
This guy here?
Yeah, the big guy.
That's cool.
Dude, look at that.
Are you guys gonna post these pictures?
And then a little American eel.
I mean, we're not.
Yeah, North American eel.
Yeah,
You have to be 6 feet tall. I mean, 6 feet tall. Yeah? Let that wrap around you when you walk in there, huh?
Tessellated darters actually, and you have tessellated darters and swamp darters here. And both of them do pretty well in fish tanks because
Now, the golden shiners.
golden shiners are great. You can tell bluegills, you know guys, you know how to tell bluegills?
Yes. The bluegills.
Yeah. Well, that and they have, you can't see it right now really well, but at the back of the dorsal, they got a little black spot. You can see a little black between the rays of the dorsal fin. And then they have those chain-like bars going up and down.
You done drawing this one?
Yes, thank you so much.
And the color. The curculum, the little black spot up here, pure tab,
Yeah.
it's just black. Whereas like pumpkin seeds will have black with a little dash of red on it. The pumpkin seeds won't have that little black spot on the dorsal.
And what kind of crayfish is this?
Edge of range, you know?
What kind of crayfish?
Oh, is
I
that
do
what it
not know
is? It's
the
because we're on the
crayfish.
edge.
Yeah.
Where's their main range?
Main range is down like in New Jersey, North Carolina, Virginia.
What is it? The sunfish?
More color. They got a
It's a good
deep
size one.
brown body and the tail has a nice big band of yellow.
These are about the size to go fishing with.
Bass look more like that. The bass are longer.
Sunfish are black birds.
It's a cool animal.
Except green sunfish. I don't think there's green sunfish.
Get you from your good side.
Thank you.
All right, and we are back home after a long day of collecting fish. I wanted to wrap this video up by giving some of my thoughts about the day. First of all, thank you to the South Coast Tropical Fish Society. It was an amazing time. It was a great experience. It's great to be able to come together as a group of people and have fun in the outdoors, and that's certainly what we did. We just went to that one location, and that's basically where we set up camp. It was good because we had the rec hall, the hunting fishing club as a spot to sort of hang out indoors. Their bathroom, sinks, you know, soap, stuff like that, refrigerator, and a place for us to cook, which was great. So we had a nice meal afterwards. And a place to wash up, which was great. And then down by the pond, that area was it was good. However, I don't think that the biodiversity was super high. Part of the problem was there wasn't a lot of great access, and the other part was just how infested that pond was. Primarily with the water chestnut. That thing is nasty. It became really hard to get in and out of the water. All those things were just in the water with the big spikes on them. Every time you put your net in the water, you get 5 or 10 of those stuck to your net, and it's just a real pain to get those out. And in the process, we weren't catching a lot of fish. We were more just sort of maintaining our gear and trying not to get poked by those water chestnuts. So it's very difficult to get in and out of that area. I think the place with the falls was a lot more diverse, and on the downward side of the falls especially seemed like it was a really great area. We caught a lot of crayfish down there. There were a lot of really tiny largemouth bass, little babies, in just like big schools of them almost. And a lot of cool fish down there. So that area I think was definitely worthwhile. I think up top, on the top side of the falls, with just all the plant life, and especially all those water chestnuts, it just wasn't a great area, not like pristine natural habitat. And because of that, it just there wasn't enough there, and the stuff that was there was difficult to get to, because everything was just so choked out with all those weeds and whatnot. So it just goes to show you, you know, the natural environment is only as productive as it can be with the plant and animal species that are present. And so when something invasive just really takes over, it's really difficult for all of the native stuff to just thrive. So I'm sure at some point in time there were tons of sunfish in the pond and lots of bass and other things, and it was just, you know, not as much there, and what was there we couldn't access or catch nearly as easily. Maybe if we had a boat and we could get out in the middle, there might have been some other species, but yeah, it was just a lot of the same, and so that wasn't great. But overall, I think it was an amazing trip. It was a great location. I hope we go back there again shortly, and maybe we make this an annual tradition, and maybe we check out a new spot every year. But it was definitely a lot of fun. I definitely learned a lot, and I think I'm going to make it a personal mission here in the next few years to start checking out more local areas, finding all of the different places that have public access, so that I can explore more and potentially find you know, some native species and do some native collecting. We did get skunked when it came to the banded killifish. We didn't find any. I think the closest thing we found was a few golden shiners, and even those were very tiny, and they didn't do so well. I don't know if it was the heat of the day or if they're just really fragile, but they didn't do well, so we let them go. So nothing came home with anyone. We sort of released everything back out into the wild, which is where it belongs. But maybe one day I'll be able to hunt down the banded killifish out in the wild. I think the habitat that I need to find to be a little bit more successful with that specific species would be hopefully relatively fast moving water with more sand and rocks and riffles and stuff like that. I think where we were, honestly, it was too low and too close to the ocean. The closer you get to sea level, the more the water tends to meander and slow way down, and usually the waterways get wider, but they're not very deep, and the water doesn't move very fast. So when that happens, all of that invasive plant life can just choke out those waterways, and then it's really hard for anything to live. You know, there's just not a lot of pristine habitat left at that point. So that's what we experienced. I think next time I'll try a different waterway and maybe try something that is elevated a little bit more above sea level, and hopefully it allows the water to be moving a little bit faster, which allows that rock and sand bottom to stay exposed. And if I can find areas like that, hopefully one day I will find the banded killifish. So until then, this is what we did today. It was a lot of fun. We did catch quite a few species, and it was really fun to see what is in the waters near us, and it was great to be able to get out and enjoy the day with a group of great people. So thank you for everyone who came, and thank you for watching. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like, please subscribe, but also please check out Nature Forged Aquatics on Amazon. You can check out products like this, the Nature Forged Aquatics alder cones, which is a great product to add to your blackwater tanks, to your shrimp tanks, to your soft water aquariums. Provides natural tannins, allows you to naturally and slowly drop the pH in your aquariums. It's a great product. This is a 4-ounce bag. It has tons of cones in it. It will last you a very long time. It also helps support this channel because Nature Forged Aquatics is my brand. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.